Hello everyone, I am Dilpreet Kaur and this is the second video lecture of Science chapter Respiration in Organisms for class 7. Now first, let's recap what we learned in the previous video lecture. In the previous video lecture, we have learnt about cellular respiration, that is a breakdown of food in the cell with the release of energy. We also discussed two types of respiration, that is aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. In anaerobic respiration, we discussed it in the yeast and in the muscles, and also we learnt about breathing and the mechanism of the breathing. Now, let us study about inhalation. By inhalation, we mean breathing in air rich in oxygen. When we breathe air or inhale oxygen, the rib cage expands while the diaphragm contracts and moves downward. This upward and downward movement of rib cage and diaphragm respectively leads to the expansion, that is, increases the space in the chest cavity. As a result, air moves into the lungs and get filled up, and lungs get filled up with the air and expand. So this is how the process of inhalation takes place. Now, let us learn about exhalation, that is, when we breathe out air rich in carbon dioxide. When we breathe air out, the ribcage contracts, that is, moves inwards, while the diaphragm moves upward. This downward movement of ribcage and upward movement of diaphragm decreases the space in our chest cavity and makes it smaller. As a result, air moves out of the lungs, and this process is known as exhalation, that is breathing out. Now, to demonstrate how the diaphragm works during breathing, we can perform a simple activity. For this, we require a bell jar with cork, straw, rubber sheet and small balloons. This is a setup of activity where the balloon in this model are representing lungs and rubber sheet is representing diaphragm. We will observe that when the rubber sheet is pulled down, the balloon gets filled with air because the cavity increases and air rushes in. This is exactly what happens during the process of inhalation. The diaphragm expands and air rushes into the lungs. And when the rubber sheet is pushed up, the balloon collapses again. This is similar to the process of exhalation. When the diaphragm contracts, the air rushes out of the lungs. As we have discussed earlier, that inhaled air is rich in oxygen. This oxygen is taken to the cells through blood, where it is used up in respiration. One of the products of respiration is carbon dioxide, which needs to be thrown out of the body. So this carbon dioxide travels back to the lungs through blood and is exhaled out. Now, to show that carbon dioxide is released during exhalation, we will be performing a simple activity. For this activity, we require a clean test tube, glass or plastic bottle we can take, and freshly prepared lime water. Now, what is lime water? Lime water is a solution of calcium hydroxide in water, and it turns milky in the presence of carbon dioxide. So this is the setup of activity. We will observe that when we blow air in the lime water, The lime water turns milky. This happens because carbon dioxide gas reacts with the lime water and thus the lime water it turns milky. So this shows that carbon dioxide is released during the process of exhalation. So now we have learnt about the process of inhalation and exhalation, where we learnt that when the diaphragm moves down, the ribcage expands. This leads to the expansion inside the lungs. As a result, the air moves into the lungs. This process is known as inhalation. And when the diaphragm moves up, the ribcage contracts. This leads to the contraction of the lungs. As a result, the air moves out of the lungs, and this process is known as expiration or exhalation. Now we will move on to next topic, that is breathing in other animals. Many insects like cockroaches have small openings called spiracles. The spiracles are connected to a network of thin air tubes called trachea. The spiracles are only seen in insects, not in any group of animals. But how does a gas exchange occurs in the insects? Oxygen-rich air rushes through the spiracles into the air tubes that are called tracheal tubes. From the tracheal tubes, they spread to each and every cell of the body. And similarly, carbon dioxide from the cell goes into the tracheal tubes and moves out through the spiracles. So this is how breathing takes place in the cockroach. Now let us study exchange of gases in the earthworm. Earthworm absorb oxygen through their moist skin. Gases can easily pass through their moist skin and get transported through the blood to all the cells. Also, frog, like human, possesses a pair of lungs, but when they are in water, they breathe through skin, and on land, they breathe through their nostrils and pair of lungs. So, this is how breathing takes place in cockroach, earthworm, and frog. Now, let us study about breathing in organisms that live underwater. Fishes are aquatic animals that live in water. They have a pair of gills. So what are gills? Gills are actually projections of skin and have blood vessels for exchange of gases. So what are blood vessels? Any of the vessels through which the blood circulates in the body. The fishes breathe in taking in water through their mouth and sending it over the gills. The oxygen dissolved in water is extracted by the gills and is absorbed by the blood. This is how oxygen is carried to all the parts of fishes for respiration, and the carbon dioxide produced during respiration is brought back by blood to the gills and is expelled out into the surrounding water. And you know that in the sea animals like dolphins and whales, unlike fishes, they do not possess gills for respiration. They possess nostrils which are called blowholes. Blowholes are located on the upper parts of their heads and they remain closed underwater, and blowholes open when animal is at sea surface and needs to breathe. Dolphins and whales comes to the surface of sea water from time to time to breathe in air. Sometimes they also release a function of water that moves upward like a spray. The human cannot survive underwater as they do not possess any gills. to make use of oxygen dissolved in water. Hence, we have to take oxygen cylinders to breathe underwater. Now let us study about respiration in plants. We have learnt in a previous chapter that plants take in carbon dioxide and release oxygen by the process of photosynthesis. But plants also take in oxygen from air and give out carbon dioxide. In the cells, oxygen is used to break down glucose into carbon dioxide and water as in other organisms. And we have already learnt that leaves of plant have tiny pores called stomata for the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide. Like any other living cells of plants, root cells also need oxygen to carry out respiration, and thus they release energy for its own use. Plant roots have a large number of tiny hairs on them which are called root hair. Oxygen from air present in the soil particles move into the root hair and reaches to all the cells in the root, where it is utilized for respiration. Here is one question that what would happen if a potted plant is over water? Answer is plant will die because water will fill the space between the soil particles, due to which oxygen will not be available to roots for respiration, and hence plants will not be able to survive. In this video lecture, we have covered process of inhalation and process of exhalation, where we also performed two activities, and also we have studied breathing in cockroach, frog and earthworm, and also breathing underwater, and we also discussed about respiration in plants. I hope you have understood these concepts. Take care. Thank you.